You know what to do. If this is your first time here, like, subscribe, comment below. Let us know what you think of our little creations that we have here. Today we've got a pretty fun recipe for you. We've got turkey sliders. We're using one of my favorite meats. Turkey is a very, very blank canvas. You can add whatever flavors you want in there and it soaks it all up and combines for the perfect bite. So today we're going to be using some 93% lean, 7% fat ground turkey. I got half an onion that I already chopped up, some fresh parsley, some hot sauce. We're gonna do zest and some lime juice of a lime with an egg yolk. We'll show you guys how to separate that out. With salt, pepper, our basic spices, cayenne, paprika, cumin, some dried breadcrumbs, and then when we dress everything up today, we're gonna have some romaine lettuce, some cheddar cheese, and we're gonna make a sauce out of some Greek yogurt, hot sauce, and parsley. Super simple, super easy. We'll show you guys how it all comes together once we put everything onto a brioche roll. Let's get started. Now we're gonna do something that I think is a good basic skill to have in the kitchen. We're gonna separate our egg yolk and our egg white. So we're gonna do a good crack down the middle. Very, very easy open. We're just gonna let that egg white stream a little bit. Put that egg yolk into the other cup. Very, very easy. And take your time with this. It doesn't need to look fancy, it doesn't need to look special. Just need to make sure you're getting that egg yolk out nice and whole. And then after a while you might have this little string at the end. Just get rid of that. We're going to take our egg yolk and put that right on top. Nice and beautiful. Put that aside for now. I'll wash my hands real quick. We'll be right back. Alright, so wash my hands up, got all the extra egg off. Next we're going to add dried breadcrumbs. You can buy these at the store, regular panko breadcrumbs. I like to make it at home because I'm extra about everything. So we got about a half a cup here. I'm going to add that in. Get rid of that. And now we're going to get into some of our spices. So we're going to start with a 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, just for a little bit of flavor, nothing more than that. Then our two major flavors that are going to come out of this is a little bit of paprika for color. We're going to have 1 teaspoon, a little bit more. Yeah, it's about 1 teaspoon. And we're going to have 1 tablespoon of our cumin. And like I said, guys, the specific measurements and the description and our entire recipe is down below in the description, and you can follow the link to our full recipe as well. We got a tablespoon of cumin, and then some salt and some pepper to taste. Give it like 4 turns, maybe we'll go 6 turns. And just a sprinkling of salt. Again, you want about a teaspoon in here. Next, we're going to add about 5 dashes of some Cholula hot sauce. This is going to come out to about a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons. Get all that in there. We're going to add about half of an onion. This is going to add moisture to our meat. And then the last thing we have, as long as I don't drop it, is a little bit of lemon zest or lime zest and lime juice. So we're going to get about half of this lime zested in here. So we got our lime zest. And then our last thing that we need to add into this mix before we start mixing it up is lime juice and parsley. So we're going to chop that lime in half. We're going to take that half, that's about 1 tablespoon of lime juice. Squeeze that in, nice and fresh. Always try and use fresh stuff when you have the opportunity to. The lime juice you get at the store is fine, but it's nothing compared to actual lime juice. And then we're going to take about a handful of parsley. Break that up, make sure you wash it before. That's actually a lot of parsley. So I think I'm going to put in half of that to start. You want to mix this with your hands. Make sure you wash your hands before you start mixing things. So I totally forgot that one ingredient that you always forget but is essential, some garlic. So I'm going to go ahead and smash that with the side of the blade here. Go ahead and peel our garlic. You want to chop it into little slices. We're going to take our little slices. We're going to put them in a little group huddle, line them up, and we're going to chop them the other way. And we're going to do one more little hand mix here. Make sure everything's incorporated. Your turkey's gonna start to change color a little bit. And you should have a pretty sticky substance. I should be able to turn this upside down and it stay. So once you got that, we're gonna do about a racquetball size. So not quite a golf ball, not quite a tennis ball, somewhere in between for our sliders. So you're going to form that into a nice ball. You want some good thickness on there. And then the most important thing here is we're going to add a little dimple right into our slider. This dimple is going to be the first thing that goes down. It's going to allow air to get into this dimple and cook the meat through in the center. And then once we flip it over, we'll add some lime juice and other things in there to that dimple to make sure moisture remains in that burger. So I went ahead and made our first couple. Now we're gonna go ahead, I've got the cast iron skillet on a medium heat, letting it warm up, got some avocado oil in there. And like I said, we want to make sure we get the dimple down on the very, very first one. So we're going to go ahead and put that down. Hear that sizzle? Not too much sizzle, but just enough that you know it's cooking because it's on that medium heat. We're almost there. And if you need to, just take the back of your spatula, go under a little bit, and just give it a little check. You're looking for like not quite charred, but also a little bit more than golden brown on that bottom color. And the most important thing here is you want no more than 3 turns, and ideally just 1 turn. So we're gonna let it cook and do its thing on one side, and then once we flip it over, we'll be able to add a little bit of lime juice, and if you like, a little bit of salsa into that little dimple there, add some cheese on top, and it makes for the perfect bite once you actually get into these sliders. So I'm looking at it, I think we're ready on this first one. Give it a nice flip. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Okay, so while we've got our burgers going, we did our first flip. We're gonna give this about 5 to 6 minutes on the other side. We're gonna go ahead and start prepping some of our other ingredients. So I'm just gonna do a couple simple, easy chops on this romaine lettuce. Cut it in half right there. For this, a lot of people will do aiolis and things like that. Not a huge fan of mayo and aiolis and egg whites, so I like to use a little bit of Greek yogurt. It's a little bit healthier too. Get some protein in your sauce. So I'm going to do just like 2 spoonfuls of plain Greek yogurt. And along with that, we're going to add in half of a lime juice. So about a tablespoon of lime juice. We're going to add in just a little sprinkling of those onions that we had earlier. It's a little extra heavy on the lime juice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to thinly slice up a Serrano pepper here. And we're going to add that in along with a little extra onion and parsley to calm that down. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to add in the Serrano peppers. Like so, we're going to get the rest of this onion going here. And I probably could have used a bigger bowl for mixing this all up, but notes for next time, right? Get a little bit more parsley. Give that another good mix. And this is going to serve as a great foundation on these sliders. Then we'll get right back with the bread and the cheese after we check on these real quick. Oh, got that perfect color on the bottom. And you guys will start to see this dimple get filled with a little bit of moisture. That's exactly what you want to happen. Like I said, ideally 1, but I want to make sure this is cooked through. I know these patties are kind of thick. Give that about 30 seconds, and then we're going to go ahead and add some of our lime juice in the middle. Okay, now we've got our dimples up, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to add a little bit of lime juice. And we're going to throw in a little dollop of this sauce in the middle. Like I said, to keep all that moisture in that dimple. Usually I'll do this with a salsa, but we're trying to keep things basic today. And then once you've got that down, we want to get about a quarter of this cheddar cheese. So we're going to try and get these into the properly sized pieces. Alright, so I went ahead and added a little bit of lime juice and a lid on top of these burgers so that the cheese melts. And while that's melting, we're going to go ahead and take a bread knife, chop open these nice brioche rolls here. And I'm going to toss them in the oven as we finish off the rest of these. Okay, now that those are in the toaster, we're going to get set to assemble everything. Get our Greek yogurt and everything out of the way. And we'll be right back at you guys once those buns and those burgers are done. Alright, so our sliders are just about complete. I'm going to go ahead and grab one of our toasted buns. Ooh, nice and warm. What we're going to do is we're going to get a little bit of this sauce, spread that all along the bottom of our bun here. And we're going to grab one of our sliders here for you guys. Right there, that is beautiful. Go one right over. Let me grab a couple pieces of lettuce. Make it look pretty. And then one more dollop of sauce with some onions. Woo. Bring it right on top. So we got our lettuce and onions on top. The last thing we're going to do for you guys is we're going to cut right in the middle here. Oh, make sure that splits evenly. Oh, and that is beautiful. All right, so this is what our final product looks like. Get some chips in there. You guys know the drill. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you guys got to cook along, make sure you let me know what you think of the food in the comments below. Let me know what you guys want to see in the future, along with what your favorite side dish is to your perfect turkey sliders. We're gonna go ahead and get a bite. We've got our nice crispy bun, cheese is melted, lettuce. Oh, this is gonna be delicious. Oh my god. The meat is still nice and juicy. You can see the sauce is already in the middle of the meat there, which provides a lot of moisture. Wow, that is delicious. A little bit on the spicy end, so if you want to go back on the cayenne or keep away from that serrano pepper, do your thing. But wow, it is a lot of flavor and a lot of deliciousness all packed into one little tiny bun.